So picture this. I'm 14 years old, ripping down the sidewalk downtown Brandon, not a care in the world. And all of a sudden, bam, I hit this thick plywood business sign and it knocked me straight on my ass. Luckily, I had a friend there with me who was able to get me across the street to a gas station where they attended to the bloody mess that I was. I had a gash here, there, and somehow in my ear. All I was wearing was a baseball cap. No helmet, no protection, just pure impact. There was swelling, severe concussion. Parents were worried, doctors were worried. They almost had to do reconstructive surgery to relieve the swelling. But luckily, it started going down on its own, and we were out of there. It was a direct impact to the prefrontal cortex of my brain, which is responsible for decision making, impulse control, planning future, analytical thinking, moral reasoning. Some important features when you're growing up as a 14-year-old. Shortly after that, my school grades started declining majorly. School just felt meaningless to me. Just lost that desire to be there. I didn't have any more direction. I just felt kind of lost. Impulse-driven behavior, break and entering, stealing stereos, impaired driving. I was a little bit out of control. I dropped out of school before I finished, although I went back and got my GED after, but after that, I just kind of coasted through life. On autopilot, you could say. I felt like I was living unconsciously. My environment shaped me. My peers, my family, everyone around me had a part in programming the person I was becoming. No long-term thinking. No real mentorship, just people that were living off their own autopilot and programming. So I didn't have any internal compass. I just had no direction. I wasn't steering my life at all. I was just reacting to it. So we didn't have internet growing up back then. Any extra education required formal structure, or if you wanted to learn independently, you could go to a library, but who wants to do that? School, going back there, felt absolutely suffocating. And then, 31 years later, I had a moment. I was in deep depression. I had two beautiful boys that needed their dad, but I was so lost in my head, I couldn't be there for them. I spent so much time on the road, working, chasing money, thinking that more money would fill this empty hole inside of me. Until I realized that if I wanted to be a better person, a better man and father, I had to become him. I had unlimited access to knowledge. So at the time, I was addicted to drugs, but I was able to transmute that addiction into learning. And that was the best pivot of my life. I could learn what I wanted to learn through audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube, the information is endless. I learned about neuroscience, neuroplasticity, and how when we learn new materials and apply them to our lives, as well as teaching them, it creates new neural pathways in our brains and literally rebuilds your brain. I dug into psychology and emotion regulation, and I wanted to understand why people acted the way they did and why they reacted how they did, including myself. Consciousness led me more into the quantum physics and spirituality and energy fields. It was mind-blowing to me. Discipline, I learned about that through David Goggins, a couple of his books. I knew I could never achieve that kind of freak nature, but just learning about discipline and how it frees you and helps you build new habits. He helped me believe that doing hard things every day would help me gain control of my emotions and build new habits that would serve me instead of bringing me down. So I would do hard things every day, intense workouts, cold showers, anything that sucked a little bit, but was major beneficial. I learned about presence, being here in the now. It's not easy. First, you need to quiet the dialogue going on up here. And I know that's easier said than done, but it's something that you can practice and train and is very achievable. So through meditation, focus training, I was able to calm that noise. And once I did that, learning accelerated astronomically. I did not ever hate learning. I just hated the system. I was forced into. So I went from being addicted to drugs to ultimately being addicted to learning. I used to look back on my life and I felt like I was such a failure. Thought that I was behind. I thought that I ruined my full potential. But that path gave me a whole new perspective on my life. It gave me empathy because I had been there, I had done that. It gave me a hunger, a whole new outlook on life. I just wanted to be a way better human and live a high quality life. It gave me contrast. It gave me something that I could teach others. If my life would have gone perfectly, I wouldn't have the depth that I have now. I'm so completely fortunate for that path that I went through. All the challenges, the ups and downs. Now, my evolution as a human and a creator has brought me into the world of YouTube, where I can educate other people on what I've learned. And when I educate other people, that helps me digest the material even further and really nail in those neural pathways in my brain. I don't hang out with the same people I used to. Now I build conversations intentionally. I curate my digital environment. I protect my own energy. And I live intentionally. And now I'm seeking out people that are far more smarter than me. I want to surround myself with success. Now I ask far deeper questions. Now I'm building something way bigger than myself. I don't need validation from anyone to tell me what I'm doing is brave. Most of the people around me up until now have projected their fears on me because they don't understand the path I'm on. And that's okay. It used to trigger me, but now I just understand where they're coming from. My brain once drifted without any direction. Now I choose where I'm going and who I surround myself with. The Presence Experience podcast is more than just my story. We're going to be talking to Manitoba entrepreneurs. I'm going to be having conversations with ambitious humans, builders, risk takers, visionaries like myself. This won't be surface level business talk, not highlight reels of their lives. What we're going to talk about is origin stories, the mindset they experienced during their evolution of their life and their career. We'll talk about fears and how they overcome them, the different stages of identity that they experienced, and of course, their prediction of their future and their plans. Also, the beliefs they've had to break along the way that didn't serve them. Hey, I once thought that I was far behind. Now I realize I was just being prepared. We'll see you soon. No time like the presence.